Tell me what's going on there, sir.
Well, we have security on scene. He was attacked by a customer, and he shot him, and he's on the ground, and officer needs help.
Okay, we've got officers coming, sir.
All right.
Okay.
It's a hostile environment.
For the first time, we're hearing the 911 call during the bar fight at Buffalo Wild Wings in Uptown Charlotte. That call coming in early yesterday morning. A CMPD officer working off-duty security jumped in to break it up and was reportedly attacked by one of the men. That officer ultimately shot that suspect 3 times, wounding him. And that brings up another topic that police departments everywhere have been grappling with, the decision of whether or not to allow their officers to work off-duty security. Robin Kennedy looked into the legalities of that very issue. She's live in the newsroom now to break it all down for us. Robin?
Well, hey, Barbara, there are some positives and negatives when it comes to allowing police officers to moonlight as security officers. On one hand, they're trained to respond to problems, but it can put them in some tough spots legally and for their own safety. No matter the location, when a police officer is working off-duty security, an expert tells us, legally speaking, it's as if he's on duty.
A sworn-in police officer is an officer 24 hours a day.
That was the case early Sunday morning when police say CMPD officer Tyler Lee was working off-duty security at Buffalo Wild Wings in Uptown Charlotte. Investigators say a fight broke out and a man was being beaten. Detectives say Officer Lee tased a suspect to try and break things up. But then another man put the officer in a chokehold, and he fought back by shooting that man 3 times. Attorney Corey Rosensteel is not connected to the case. Rosensteel tells us any action taken by Officer Lee working off-duty is treated as an action of the police department.
If he tased somebody and used his service weapon, then there is going to be some liability potentially for the police department. Now, in this particular case, it's hard to see where the liability would be. It sounds like from the initial reports that this was a justified shooting.
But did the suspect know he was scuffling with a police officer? Instead of answering my question about whether or not Officer Lee was wearing a uniform during the incident, CMPD referred me to its 28-page list of procedures for secondary employment. I dug through it and found officers are allowed to work off-duty in plain clothes for certain job assignments. So it's unclear what the situation was in this case. Uniform or not, Rosensteel says it appears Lee took appropriate action.
Unless there was an innocent bystander injured, usually it's going to be tough to assign liability unless there's actual negligence.
Now, we should also mention that CMPD Chief Rodney Monroe had the same assessment following the shooting Sunday. He believes his officer acted properly, but the investigation is ongoing. Live in the newsroom, Robin Kennedy, My Fox Carolinas.
All right, thank you, Robin. Robin also reached out to Buffalo Wild Wings today. A manager told her that they are under a gag order from their corporate officers because this is an active investigation. And at last check, police told us that the suspect who was shot was taken to the hospital in critical but stable condition.